we go into our first quarterfinal, which is pretty damn hype. Both of these players have 2 points guaranteed for reaching the quarterfinal, but this is the reigning Rising Star champion, the back-to-back champion, Happy. The, what did I call him at the beginning of the stream? This Japanese game show dude.
The general?
The general of Takeshi's Castle, indeed. The general of the Rising Star Castle. The Vice World Champion, Happy, is facing one of Europe's strongest orcs, the Enigma from Germany. No one really knows how he looks like, but we know that he looks very good on Warcraft 3 maps. One of the most successful European orcs in 2019. His rise to the top of the scene was super impressive. It is Spiral. So, Germany versus Russia. Undead versus Orc. Best of 3 for the semifinals. Can finally someone stop Happy?
It was years and years of the Orcish crown in Europe belonging to Cash, but nowadays it's not that clear anymore. Most people still say Cash is the best, but Spiral is definitely giving him a run for his money. And especially in this matchup, Spiral is looking super strong. Has a very strong build, normally involves tier 2 expansion, which has made some of the best undeads in Europe, look like noobs, look like beginners. But you oftentimes can feel very confident and very good in a matchup and about a strategy, and then Happy comes along and may very well smash it down.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you've been able to accomplish before. Is that gonna happen now again? Or is Spiral gonna be the first player to take out Happy in the Rising Star Cup?
There is a €50 bounty now on Happy's head. Of course, he's the favorite for every single cup he plays at. Not only cup, but also tournament. He wins tournaments in China against the best players in the world with a 170 ping. And here, the ping is distributed very, very fair. So double burrow Farseer by Spiral. And what's Happy's reaction? Of course, DK Tet Fiends. Creeping or harassing? Since this is the lightning shield creep most likely, this definitely looks like harass, and the distraction with the Acolyte is already so good that he abandons this creep spot. First little win for Happy.
Yeah. I like this decision here by Spiral as well. If he commits in for the creep, realizing that he's been scouted, this could be a great disaster. If he loses the last hit on the big boy to a coil, this is a swing that you really can't afford. Plus, everything is going to be hurt. Either you're going to lose a grunt or it's going to cost you a ton of heal cells. So Spiral cuts his small losses in the early game and is like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to be too greedy. I know you're going to be running over anyways, so it's not like you're creeping up so much in the meantime. And also love that he's sending one wolf to follow the DK to know what's going on, to quickly adjust properly to what's happening on the map. But now loses sight of the Death Knight, who now in Happy's hands creeps up the middle. Happy loves stacking up on claws for the Lich. But Spiral knows that's most likely what Happy's doing, and now can go for the Lightning Shield creep. And this one is not being contested, and as there's now 2 grunts for Spiral to work with, this is even a little bit easier, but Happy's coming in. If he steals this last hit, this would be monumental. It's super close, but thanks to nighttime, I believe, he didn't see it in time.
Okay, he gets the second one and steals the item as well, but it is level 2 for the Farseer. Grunt loses quite some HP, but not in kill range, and that is an okay outcome for Spiral. He got his level 2, he denied level 2 for the Death Knight, or he didn't let the DK get up to level 2. Got the big consumable so far. Spiral holds on to his nerves. Skeletons can't get the kill either. Tech is on the way at 50%. So looking okay against the best player of 2019.
What Spiral wants to do here is, by the time tier 2 rolls around, don't lose any grunts. Get your level 3 Farseer and either have crept the natural already or be strong enough to creep the natural with a TC and then expand. At least that used to be his playstyle. Not sure if that's still what he does, but it was so successful I see no reason why that shouldn't still be his playstyle. Tier 2 is slowly approaching. Happy is a little bit faster with that. So Spiral, I think, went for a 2-burrow tech, actually. I'm not 100% certain on that.
Yes, he did.
And seems to be looking to creep up the natural here. That shows you oftentimes that an orc respects the undead, not just trying to solo creep it with a TC, which can be punished, but you don't mind when the undead is a bad player, but rather wants to do it safe with 3 grunts, maybe even 4 plus wolves. That should be a safe creep. He also sees the mana on the DK, which for Happy standards is pretty high. Oftentimes Happy like uses all of his mana for creeping, but still has 2 coils here actually to make use of. And the wolves force the DK away, so now it's time to creep on the natural. Again, this is the safe play by the Farseer, gives him level 3 as well, but it's not solo experience for the TC, who will be coming on tier 2, and who is going to be the big hard carry here in the later stages.
Okay, TC, Stomp, and Chain Lightning combo. That might result in some hero kills, but you need against Happy. Thank you very much, Cute Gamer Girl, for the 6-month resub. All the gamer girls say tee-hee. Ring of Regen is quite necessary as this Farseer is so low. Happy creeping up to level 3 now. Lord of the Rings once again. He's either lucky or receives some super bad luck, I feel. Like sometimes his inventory is super packed or he stacks up 10 armor on his DK. Kind of fascinating that he never hits the middle ground. Thank you, Anon, for the 10 euro donation. Love you guys. Keep it up. You too, man. Thank you.
Just keeps on coming from the guys. Thank you very, very much.
Doesn't stop. You guys make
this is the typical spiral play that I was talking about. You have solid early game, you get the level 3 Farseer, and the level 3 Farseer is actually surprisingly strong at this stage in the game, before statues are out. But Farseer was pretty hurt from the creep camp. If he gets Kol Novad here, he could easily be forced away, but I imagine Lich has Frost Armor first. However, the big story here of this strategy, of this game is Undead always rushes tier 3 because that's what you need, so you're kind of weak in the mid game. So this Orc expansion almost always comes through. And then the masses of units power through from the Orc. And normally that results in Spiral beating Undeads. The question now is, can Happy beat that, which nobody else can?
We'll see. There is a Farseer in the main with a big invul, no staff. Kind of lucky that he gets out there. He moved himself into a trap, but Happy's not punishing this. And on the way to tier 3, harassing these acolytes, that means later orb. He's like 200 gold away from it at the moment. And that's even more time for Spiral to let his game unfold. Even has time for the TC to go to the laboratory. He's almost losing an acolyte, but okay, of course, Happy calculated this with the narrow tower. Sorry for doubting the Emperor.
And he's not losing any acolytes, but was still some lost mining time. And it was the creeping being slowed down where Happy was busy in the main and wasn't accelerating. The DK could just force the invul here on the Farseer if he wants. I'm surprised he's not doing it.
There we go.
Oh. What does he want to use? Invul or TP? Honestly, the big invul is so good on the TC. Yeah. He may want a TP here.
Oh, pump fake on the coil, and that triggers the invul. And he's still chasing, might even go for the TP, but Raiders are coming in with Ensnare and the TC with Stomp as well. Expansion almost started. We see the harass we saw before with the Farseer. Gave Spiral like 250 gold, which is a lot more than I expected.
And we see Acolyte number 6 from Happy is not trying to all in the expansion, but rather trying to counter expand.
Is that a sign of respect?
I think so, yeah. He's not sure that he can win the game right there in one big engagement. Big last hit right there. The Lich gets it with a Nova. Level 3 on the TC denied. Spiral says, I don't like what this looks like, so he's going to TP out. He's losing not even the Raider. And that means now he can go over to the right-hand side, the top right, where most of the bounty of the map, the creep camps, are still remaining after having claimed much of the bottom left. This is, like, creep strategy-wise, looking pretty good so far for Spiral.
Yeah. Happy is pretty much in no man's land. Oh, the Kodo is misrallied. Nova, coil, block, destroyer.
That's a painful loss.
Yeah, force supply. And now XP is tied. And Spiral is not going to the upper right. He is contesting Happy again.
The question is, does Spiral want to take this into a 2-base versus 2-base game? Or does he want to all in the enemy expo? If he wanted to all in, losing this 4 supply Kodo really hurts.
Yeah. But Spiral has the gold advantage now. Happy's still at 50. Spiral as well, but the level 3 TC. And how much value does this Book of the Dead have? Can he drop it into the expansion, into the main, without a destroyer being there?
And this TC, so far, without a mana potion, honestly isn't that super strong. If he finds one here, that would be amazing. But doesn't. And this is a lot of damage already on these units.
Yeah.
Like, Spiral really isn't in fighting shape.
No, he really shouldn't fight now. No tier 3, no Headhunter upgrade, just normal Headhunters coming now as anti-air. No third hero. This Kodo was so far maybe the most impactful move of the game, or the one mistake that you should not be allowed to do against Happy, or that you are not allowed to do against Happy.
Yeah, that really did hurt. I'm surprised that Spiral isn't selling the book for a mana potion. Happy always plays destroyers. Normally, with this strat, the Orc is supposed to be far ahead in supply, but he's not that far ahead. He has a bit of a lead, yes, but not that much. Happy, by the way, no Dark Ranger yet.
Yeah.
So dealing with this TC is not going to be easy.
Also no Pit Lord, no Dreadlord, nothing. Woofy at the Acolyte. And the position of Spiral keeps Happy away from the tavern. Here comes a Storm, well split, but not good enough. Hits a lot of fiends, but where's the damage? Supernova into the Headhunter, Stomp once again, Scroll of the Beast, and the Scroll of Healing used. Spiral is just blasting through his consumables.
And 3 fiends devoured. 3 fiends in the stomachs. And Happy has barely any army here to fight with. He has no DPS anymore. Wow. He has to TP out, losing 1 more fiend. A phenomenal fight for the German. Destroying Happy in that engagement like is rarely seen.
Who gets to eat 3 fiends versus Happy? Tell me one player in the world.
Yeah, really well done. TC runs in, no silence control for him, stomps the fiends, finds the connection, more ensnares flying, more devours coming in. And so far, this is what I've been seeing from Spiral against Undead. Question is, can Happy come back from that position?
We have a speed scroll. We have no TP on Spiral, right? No. There is one available in the shop. Spiral has the gold. 68 supply for him. 10 supply lead. Lich is close to 4. Farseer as well. More numbers. Happy. Is he sending something to the tavern? No. Plays it 2 heroes.
Forces are under attack.
How long until the Devourer wears off? Oh, wow, not much longer. Then Happy will lose 9 supply. It gets another fiend here, maybe. It can, of course, be Burrow, but Ensnare again. That's level 4.
Yeah, 4 raiders still alive. Normally these raiders against Happy die like flies, but the control has been really good. Level 4 now for the TC. This aura level up actually matters. Everything, especially a little bit more speedy now as far as the movement is concerned.
He's about to get...
Oh, Invis Potion. That's really nice.
Can be dispelled, of course, but there's no destroyer nearby. He's not willing to waste it on the heroes. Oh, now he gets it. Stuns everything. Book of the Dead now. There's no destroyer. He realized that he saved this book. Oh, there's one. Immediately dispelled. But the DK has no TP, has no invoke. Stun again, and the DK falls. Gets zapped. Shock treatment. He can't do anything against it. Another destroyer falls. 10 supply dead in 5 seconds. Happy calling the ghouls, but they can't help either. A 20 supply lead for the German.
This seems to be his game, if there ever was one to beat Happy. Now with this massive supply lead and finding more and more kills. Didn't forget about the dust either. A mistake that many players oftentimes make. Another 9 supply killed off. More and more experience for these heroes. 5 levels for these Orc heroes aren't too far away.
The second triple kill against Happy. But it's Happy. Spiral gave a game away against Ente in the last Ryzing Star Cup, where he was miles and miles ahead. But Ente fought back, and we're still on 2 base. 2 destroyers up again. Still no tier 3 by Spiral. Trying to get rid of that echo now. No DK. Destroyer falls. Level 5 on the Farseer. This must be Chain Lightning 3. Or actually, it is. The 1k damage. You still with me?
Yeah, I am. I'm watching the game here as it seems to be nearing its conclusion. The expansion by Happy under serious threat. More and more acolytes being killed off. The Wolfies in the back doing a good job. Happy still waiting for the DK. Guess what? Spiral in the midst of his bottom left, expanding. And more ensnares, more kills. TC in a bit of trouble, but guess what? He still got the invul. Another nice stomp right there. The Fiend died already. The Destroyer does get away, but the Lich might not be so lucky. He is surrounded and will be falling. GG! Wow. And the lead 1-0 for Spiral.
Unbelievable. We get a happy loss in the quarterfinals. Spiral, so calm, so collected, well executed, even with the stress in the very beginning at the mercenary camp. He held it all together. Good progress on levels. Very good timing for this expansion. And even if Happy with his DK was at the right creep spots, Spiral played so well against it, with the Farseer right clicks, with the wolves constantly chasing that goat. And yeah, in the end, that DK kill, Happy didn't really find a solution against Spiral's timings.
Yeah, even before that, like that fight at the lab, coming back from that is super difficult before the DK died. But what I'm more surprised about is that Spiral's strategy just worked flawlessly. It was Farseer creeping to level 3 with a slower tech to make sure he gets the levels, then he uses the level 3 strength to keep the undead back and to expand freely without it being cancelled. This is now how he normally always wins his games against undead. I thought Happy was going to do something, I don't know what, but something to prevent that, as he so oftentimes does. But he didn't. He couldn't. He wasn't able to.
Yeah.
Which is really impressive. If you have a strategy and can execute it in such a way that it works against Happy as it works against everyone else, that's not something you see every day. And we had the right idea. Spiral is absolutely one of the best in Europe, perhaps the best, to challenge Happy.
Spiral takes his time now to join this game. And the lack of the Dark Ranger at the lab, how important that was. Couldn't prevent the stomp. Happy splits usually like done by an AI, but not this time. It didn't.
Yeah, I think those were the two really questionable plays by Happy. First, not attacking the expansion when it was coming up, trying to cancel. And second, not going Dark Ranger. Of course, he got creep jacked kind of before he could make that decision. But even after that, he could have sent a Destroyer to the tavern and gone for the Dark Ranger. To me, that looked like Happy prefers to play without Dark Ranger.
Yeah. I mean, for a long time, there was no chance to get to that tavern, but at the end there was. Maybe he thought he can't afford it anymore to not have the high-level heroes as he needs Coil Nova. And can't afford to spread the experience. Or he needs the army, so he doesn't have the 420 gold for a hero. I don't know, but lack of a Dark Ranger or some damage mitigation was definitely noticeable.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And this is also some of the more interesting games from Happy to see. He loses a game quite one-sidedly, to be honest, against a strategy which was looking very strong. And how does he adjust now?
Yeah.
What's going to be his master plan against this strategy? Undeads in the past, also Netties, had tremendous trouble against this strategy, and two strats emerged from 1-0 and WFZ. One of them was Dark Ranger second. This was the 1-0 special. Yeah. Play Dark Ranger second, creep like crazy with Dark Ranger solo, get her to level 3 quickly, and then look for an early fight at the Orc expansion, go all in, and then make use of the level 2 Dark Arrow, which is really strong. Not tier 2 only, but also with tier 3 with the Lich with Orb, and then snowball with those skeletons. That's strat number 1. Strat number 2 is tier 2 all in against the Orc expansion with, of all units, Necromancers. Along with Fiends. I think WFZ came up with that, and it was also Enter and I believe Nightend playing it for quite a while. But
that's it.
Both these strats don't involve destroyers, so I'm not sure Happy wants to play them. And that might be one of the weaknesses of Happy, if he has any. He has some units that he really likes to play and some that he doesn't. Like, for example, destroyers in the last game. Good against wolves, bad against everything else. So I'm not sure if they're the best units here. But of course, I kind of always say that about destroyers. But
in the hands
we'll
of
see.
Happy, they usually are pretty insane. So Happy, in his way into this quarterfinal, has defeated the Valdez, Benson, Jade Dark, and Insuperable. Spiral was successful against Cruncher, was successful against Mad Frog, and the Cricket. So pretty tough run for Spiral, killing one more undead right there, and one of the strongest Americans. If I would be Oceanus, I mean the Soviet war lead who's playing Oceanus tomorrow, I would be hella scared of Spiral, but I think by now everyone is. No results from the other quarterfinals so far, by the way. Chat, if you know any results, let us know. Or admins, or mods, or whatever.
This could be the first time at Ryzing Star where we go from 2 of each race in the quarters to 1 of each race in the semis.
Ooh, that would be cool indeed.
It has a rather low chance of happening, I guess. Everything has to work out perfectly, but it could. Let's see how map 2 goes. Spiral could be the first. Imagine if he gets 2-0. When was the last time Happy got 2-0'd?
I'm not sure, man. This is actually the first time these two players meet, and that already surprises me. So I'm looking at Happy's tournament results here. It's hard to find a loss. He has losses against Romantic. He was defeated by Lin in a best of 3. The last time was CC Masters qualifier number 1 against Lawlight with that crazy TM. But that was on unfair conditions, so... Yeah. So
BREC, actually. Okay,
BREC.
Fly.
Yeah.
At LAN against Fly. Yeah. That was the last time on fair conditions where Happy got 2-0'd. So Spiral, what's going through his mind now? He knows he's going up against Europe's greatest and he's got the lead. Yeah. With some players that can kind of mess with their head.
Yeah.
Some athletes, some... what do you call that? Cyber athletes, I guess, say, when you start thinking about what happens after you win, you've already lost. So don't do that, Spiral. Don't fall into that trap. Just think about what you have to do next, how you have to win, how do you have to play to win this game, what strengths you have, what weaknesses you may need to be careful about, and take it one step at a time. The strat looked very good in game 1, and I imagine it's going to be the same strat in game 2. Yeah. But this is Happy's counter map choice. Something I guess that has to be mentioned about the previous map is considered to be a very good orc map. Undeads kind of deviate between vetoing either Terranus or Echo Isles, both pretty weak undead maps versus orc. But Twisted Meadows is by far the most horrible, so that one's always vetoed. But yeah, it was Echo Isles vetoed as well. Echo is a really, really good Farseer expansion map. Expo is so easy to take, you can't really harass it. Really easy leveling, lots of medium armor to creep with the wolves. So I guess that was the better veto for Happy, but still, it was certainly an orc map. This one is not, so should be looking better for Happy, looking for the Acolyte last hit, but that's not gonna happen. Farseer gets the full experience from this camp. Happy going for the same camp, hoping for the claws. He had plenty of rings earlier. It's a circlet for the DK. And Spiral. Actually slower with this camp, which is kind of insane. He gets the claws.
Yeah, he was focusing a lot on the Acolyte to prevent that last hit. Spiral, pretty much the only player in the world with a 100% win rate against Happy at the moment. Claws of attack for him. And yeah, you mentioned it. Will he start thinking about it? I think the last year was good exercise for him. His rise to the top of the scene of Europe. He was in very dramatic moments in W3IL, also in W League Europe. And most of the time he kept it together. It wasn't like he was blowing through big leads or something. Whenever he got the win, for example in a mirror over cash in important clan wars, he just made the 2-0. He just did it. I haven't seen him...
Shia LaBeouf.
What?
Just do it, Shia LaBeouf. Don't you remember?
No, I don't know what weird things you're referring to. But yeah, he just finishes the job and gets it done. Happy with the DK, running into the wrong position. Spiral sidesteps him a little here. Again, getting a fast level 2. Again, having an easier mid-game thanks to the Chain Lightning, especially for last hits against the coil.
This is a good creep jack, though. This is slowing Spiral down a lot. And with the Farseer dropping low, it's starting to get scary. The Grunt also in danger, despite Speed Scroll, still going to be dying. And here you can see the big difference of the map. It's much easier to find your opponent, much easier to punish. Perhaps a little greedy by Spiral to attempt the natural so fast.
I mean, if he's not getting jacked at the natural, he's getting jacked at the Tuskas. Yeah,
that's true. But you can try to creep a safer camp, like the green one, for example. Wait for the third Grunt. And perhaps try to figure out where your opponent is. You could send out Wolves for scouting. But Spiral took a bit of a risk, now trying to get the Augmenter. Happy has one coil left, but the Chain Lightning zaps it and secures it and gets another mana item.
Never underestimate Chain Lightning. Not even on level 1.
Already the Peon coming out.
Whoa.
4 TC.
That's greedy.
Wow. That's a sign of confidence.
Thank you, Sean Wright, for the 15 euros. It's nearing 3 a.m. Asia time, and I just got back from the bar. Love you guys. Keep up the good work. Nice start into the year, man. And thank you, Digibrill, for the 8-month resub. Old ESL radio fan. A legend.
Delays the TC in favor of a faster expansion.
After a Grunt got lost.
And the Speed Scroll is gone. And the Farseer's not yet level 3. Oh, block against the Fiend. Chain Lightning Zap is available, but the Fiend's out of range. Really good blocks right here.
But big damage on Happy's entire army.
Yeah.
Statue is still quite a bit away, and the mana for coils is gone, so Happy can't engage. Is this enough time for the Great Hall?
Did Happy see the Great Hall?
I don't know.
Coming up?
I don't
really
know.
good Wolf Scout here. This is a big deal. Spiral with his info. Seeing the DK, not following him, but rather staying on the left, is creeping the middle. This is again greedy, though. He has only one heal salve to heal up after this camp, and the Farseer needs that heal salve. If that heal salve gets cancelled by the skeleton.
Not using it yet.
Spiral is playing... He's risking his expansion with this.
Yeah.
And he's going to be losing his expansion because of this creep.
Yeah. He has level 3, but what's the big upside from the Snow Overseer? He takes it away from Happy, okay. But this is an easy cancel.
Yeah. Costs Happy experience in the sense that he's not creeping in the meantime. But gets the expansion cancelled, and that's the biggest deal.
The Farseer needs to TP. The Grunt... Oh, there's no speed scroll.
How greedy was this creep? Nova? Must be Nova now.
Oh, boy. Oh, goes for the Grunt only, though. He's stopping with
Farseer.
the little... Damn, Spiral's playing with fire. And I guess he's burning himself. TC surrounded the tavern. Happy turning it up to 100 again.
Another Nova is ready. That must be the kill. Who's gonna die first? The TC trying to transfer the TP. Wow, what the play by Spiral.
Oh my god, he's getting the double kill on the feet. Are you kidding me, Spiral?
What? That was amazing.
That was a play of a century. Storm TP swap, TP used, Chain Lightning lasted. He's not losing anything and gets a 6 supply kill.
That was amazing. Honestly, Spiral almost threw away this game, but this was the comeback move. If that doesn't happen, it's looking really bad for him.
He finds a greater mana now. As if RNGesus wants to reward him for the Pimpus play.
I can't believe he crept the Merchant when his expansion was coming up.
Foggy, by the way, eliminated Neutron.
Which seems to always happen.
True that.
Dude, what a play. That was amazing.
I'm still shaking my head. Like, what the hell?
The player's forces are under
Reinforced defense is coming. Ensnare almost ready. But Happy's at tier 3.
Yeah, and the thing is, This Orc expansion is so late at this point. Happy could very well counter-expand, which he did earlier, and not fall too far behind in supply. But it seems like he's going all in instead. Time for counter-expose is over.
Not even a level 3 DK. And if he wants to creep this now, he has to go to the bottom right, which is way too far away from this expansion. Happy's just waiting for the destroyer upgrade. He's coming with ghouls. 40 supply push.
Oh, frenzy ghouls!
Yep.
He's got frenzy!
Yep.
It's frenzy time again, boys. Happy could just cancel the Great Hall. Why is he not canceling the Great Hall?
He wants to fight. He wants to end it all. You pointed it out in game 1. Raiders against Happy die in milliseconds. Chain Lightning again killing a Fiend. Stomp is nice, disabling all the ghouls. TC is down 50%. This time we have a silence.
Yeah. This time there's Dark Ranger control. This changes everything. TC's too hurt, can't fight right now, and Happy finds more and more kills. Happy lost a few units of his own, but now gets more kills and more level ups. Level 2 for the Lich, and this Great Hall is still going to be cancelled even after all the units were killed. Happy seems to be now taking control of this game.
Oh, and Spiral needed this to go up to 50. Happy is completely out of lumber though, so if that fails, what to do? Go more ghouls?
I think Happy has the time now, even if he needs to halt production a little bit. This is a tier 2 orc strategy.
Yeah.
And I think we can keep the race in brackets. Any strategy that revolves around tier 2, almost any, has to be ahead economically. And it isn't now. And that's a big, big problem.
Yeah, Happy is completely in control now, obviously. 43 supply, closing in on 50. How to recover for Spiral. He's getting the level 3 TC, got the Pendant of Energy. He has a heavy hitting Farseer who's close to 4. And then he gets Chain Lightning level 2. And maybe some plays with a Zeppelin even? I'm not too sure if Happy has Web.
Spire's pretty broke right now though. Still not at 50. And is sending out another peon. That must be another expansion. This, at this point, looks like desperation. But I mean, he has to try something.
Yeah.
TC's level 3 now. Got the Pendant of Energy, which is really good. Would love a Mana Stone right here. Heal Wards, also always nice for Orc. Not that good in fights, but very nice for creeping.
Double Kodo available as well. Gets the Invul Potion at the shop. Can't afford a heal scroll, but it's not that important. So Spiral got both of the middle spots. Let's check the experience real quick. It's in favor of Spiral again, who's going for a creep check now.
Feeling confident yet again.
PC
PC has an invul to break out of the silence if he wants to. Happy is splitting. Invul used, silence broken. But now the TC is somewhat vulnerable. Lots of the ghouls were hit though. Dark Ranger also in trouble. Next Stomp is ready. TC lining it up. Plenty of targets hit once again. Kodo is in the front. Has devoured. This thing was going off for quite a while. Heal scroll from Happy. Perfectly timed. Keeping these ghouls alive as well as he can. Running them out of Stomp range. Dodging that one at least a little bit. There's one more Stomp ready, perhaps even 2 as this fight goes on, and that one hit really well on the ghouls this time. But mana's dropping low, and without mana, Spiral can't really fight.
There's more skeletons as well. Destroyer's still in the air. The anti-air is almost gone. Kodos have eaten, but mostly only ghouls. Okay, this Destroyer falls to this end snare. 36 supply against 44. Kodo will fall in a bit, but the ghoul is devoured. Next statue and snared. Spiral is getting a lot of kills here, way more than I think he should. And this is all time for an expo.
But the lower the numbers get, normally the more important the hero levels and hero strength become.
We have one more Storm. We do.
Lich.
What's happening?
Coil.
Oh, Coil last second. He has one Storm to get out. There's no scroll. And almost a surround. Lich cannot be healed. There's no Coil. Invul though, and nothing on the Farseer who dies. This must be it for Happy. 29 supply only. For a
that looked
second.
weird by Spiral.
Yeah.
That looked like he thought he had mana for the zap, but then noticed he didn't. He committed really hard for that Lich. Maybe
Just like
didn't see the
Foggy
invul.
always does. Against Happy.
Let's just bought 2 more items. Another claws +6, another gloves +25 now.
Forces are under attack.
And more ghouls coming in from the main. This is so much DPS. This army is super scary.
And Happy has the experience lead. He will cancel the expansion for the 3rd time. And Frenzy Ghouls to kill more buildings. Might even include the altar. TC is still creeping, but he's far away from 5. Has no speed scroll. There's no chance he can defend at home.
This is gonna be painful. Frenzy Ghouls don't care that much about fortified armor. And taking out the shop is such a big deal.
Yeah.
He knows the TC will need mana pots and clarities.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he found a replenishment potion, but that only does so much. In the last fight, he had 5 stomps. In the next one, he's gonna have 2.
And most likely no Farseer. He's still trying to get home. The plus 25 Lich is easily killing these peasants or peons. Wipes out the economy. This is Happy. Winning map 2. PC comes in, saving Grace, but where's the follow-up? There is none.
The town is under siege.
For 36 supply, this army looks surprisingly big, but it's just so easy to out-micro. You only have to worry about the stomp. Everything else, you can just right-click down. One after the next, especially the Nova coming in, which was almost a triple kill. GG, 1-1.
Okay, Happy's back, but that was his map, and Spiral's map is last. The neutral map is always played first, so Happy takes the game on his home turf, and Concealed Hill is last.
I can't believe some of the risks Spiral took in that game. I feel like even like after the creep jack, it could have been fine if he just plays back, plays passively, and just defends the expo. This is the tier 2 strategy. It's all about the expansion timing. Spiral may regret that one.
I think it shows confidence that he goes for a play like this. And I think that's very good for Spiral. I mean, he had pretty much nothing to lose.
Winning,
huh?
If you're confident in winning, don't you just play solid and don't take any risk that could go wrong? Because as long as nothing goes wrong, you have a good chance at winning. I think you take risks when you feel you have to take risks.
Well,
Game 1,
against Happy, you always have to take risks.
In game 1, he didn't take risks. He just played it solid one step after the next. But that was...
I mean, there was nothing to lose, really. He had the lead. It was Happy's map. It is Happy, so if you want to win on his map, maybe he feels he has to take risks. But I think the fights still were okay. Closer than I expected them.
Yeah, he's not getting tremendously out-microed. But that army only has so much micro potential. It doesn't have backstab, hex, stomp, spirit link, disenchant. It's a pretty simple army, honestly. There's only so much you can do. And it's all about the expansion timing and the levels. And one of the most important things, how easy the expansion is to take. Happy very smartly in game 2 realized, okay, I know you're going to creep the expansion because you need the expansion. Can I punish that? Yes, is the answer. So he goes in there to punish that. That was the first big play of the game. Killing the Grunt, delaying the expansion creep, delaying level 3 Farseer. That took forever. And then the second big play was delaying the expansion when it was coming up, canceling it. And now Spiral knows what he has to be concerned about. And map 3 will show who has learned the lesson better.
Okay, we have a couple of subs here. Indie Picard, 26 months of resubbing. Yep, DD with the 10 months. Spiral for the win. And Bombird with 4 months. Thank you guys for the subs. And we are loading into map number 3. CH will decide it. Will Spiral, in the 5th edition of the Ryzing Star Cup, be the one to dethrone Happy? Or is it another quarterfinal where Happy struggles more than usual, but we have him, like we have seen him struggle before, also in some undead mirrors, surprisingly, but still making it. That was kind of the story of the first Ryzing Star Cups, where We didn't see the games, but like Side brought him to the edge of a victory, I think, and Sheik as well. But in the end, Happy always made it. What about Spiral? That would be quite an exclamation mark from him for 2020. In front of more than 3,200 viewers, by the way, which is insane.
Oh, wow. Holy crap. Nice that you all are tuning in this fine weekend to observe some of the best Warcraft that not only Europe but the world has to offer. 1-1 now. Spiral, is he sticking with his style? Farseer, it certainly looks like the answer is yes. Over in Asia, we see, for the most part, Blade Master Tier 3 play, but that is not Spiral's play. And I would certainly not recommend suddenly changing his style. You have to play what you're used to here. Otherwise, you're certainly gonna fail. Oh,
So-
Spiral, what are you doing? That's 6 peons in the gold mine. Okay, now you realized. Okay, good.
Updates from the other quarterfinals, by the way. As mentioned before, Foggy defeated Neutron 2-0. Hawk is 1-0 against Death Note, and Terra is 1-0 against Knopf. So yeah, no dual burrow this time by Spiral, unlike on TS. Happy is already here with the Acolyte once more.
A player's forces are under attack.
I think Spiral this time should try to prioritize, get level 3 Farseer early. That is such a big cornerstone of any Farseer strategy, especially against Undead, I guess. And try not to play it too risky. Losing grunts with this tier 2 strat really hurts. So that's the first 2 important things. Get your levels, don't lose too much, and secure your expansion. Creep it up. If you have to wait a little bit to get it safely, maybe you have to. But also protect it. Like, scout where he is, look what he's doing. Don't get it cancelled. Getting it cancelled hurts a lot. And this is, I guess, where this map is pretty decent for Orc in that it's fairly easy to see the Undead coming. It's either between the green and the lab, where he's going to be coming from his side, or between your lab and your tavern. Like, there's only 2 pathways for the Undead to come in. Could be scouted for. And that is where this game is going to be going. But first, it's going to be about creep routes, going to be about leveling. Oh, Spiral has a 1 borrow tech this time, by the way. So, waiting a little bit longer for the second grunt, trying to evade Happy here.
Player's forces
Looking
are under
for the
attack.
green camp steal. Happy with the classic skeleton leftovers plus ghouls. Creep the turtle for the level 2, and there he gets it. Boom. This has been played so much lately that even my opponents on ladder started countering this build, which I've been pretty upset about. But Spiral gets the full camp, the green and the left. This is like the safest camp you can take. Very, very unlikely that you get punished. And you get level 2 in a speed scroll. Is he trying to play good old Acolyte harass?
Fiend scouts
Oh,
it.
but the Fiend Scout.
And now the DK is here as well. Can he block with the grunt? Just a tiny bit too late. Damage is good. But so far, they're both stalling a little. Spiral can't find a nice
Player's
angle
forces
to
are under
attack. Happy doesn't find time to creep, so it's a little bit of an exchange, which should always go to the Farseer thanks to the range attack, but skeletons are doing way more damage than usual.
There's of course fountains on this map,
Yeah.
so both players can pretty easily heal up, especially valuable for the Undead, I guess, because he doesn't have heal cells to rely on. Whereas the Orc does. Skeleton block coming in against the grunt. We didn't see that too much just yet, but of course we know how good Happy is. And even having to use a speed scroll for a single grunt save, that is not ideal. It's not the biggest of all deals ever, but it does hurt. Skeleton on the Farseer. He's not looking. That's dangerous.
Close to the threshold. Grunt takes out the skeleton, and the DK is not close enough anymore to throw the coil. But yeah, Spiral, he is taking a lot of risks here. Got a potion, I guess, or at least a lot of healing. It feels like he plays this way because there are fountains, but Happy is gonna be there and wake the creeps up, isn't he?
I think Spiral would just love to creep and just be left alone. He was thinking of that run-by thing against the Acolytes, but mostly he would like to creep And Happy is like, no, I'm not going to let you creep. I'm not going to give you early level 3 so you can keep my army busy with just your Farseer. And then your TC does the solo creeping, gets his expansion, gets his levels, gets his stomp level 2. And this is where the maps come in and make such a big difference. Terranos stand, you get a level 2 Farseer instantly. You get Merc support if you want it. And you get easy, continuous creeping. There's lots of medium armor creeps on Terranos. Easy to creep with grunts, easy to creep with wolves. There's quite a few here as well, but not as many. But now, finally, Spiral, thanks to the Wolf Scout in the north once again, can creep up the natural safely. Peon is coming in. Question is, Happy, is he going to try to cancel this once again? Or is he going to go for something else? Looks like he tries to go for the Ogre Lord now. A pull that has been very popular. Involves a bit of RNG. Sometimes it doesn't quite go through all the way. But I think this was due to Happy's own fail. Whew, buddy. Makes up for it, closes this around.
Shockwave in the right direction so the skeletons don't get burned. But that is all time for Spiral to set up an expansion and creep it.
Yeah, and now the Farseer is level 3, and now it's time to go and harass the undead.
Awesome battle drums and claws on the Lich. That's a lot of damage. He's building a super Lich once again, and the TC is not even close to 3. The Russian is coming.
Important that the Farseer walks up here, sees this early. TC has the Stomp ready to try to save this expansion. Speed Scroll coming in. Going for the DK right away. Oh, this might be the perfect call. He is surrounded. Stomp is cooling down. Happy has to TP out soon. Does it now, but the cancel does come through. Zap should be ready.
Wasn't used. Neither on the DK, not on the Spider.
That was a little bit... slightly... I think he was mid-animation there for the Zap. He thought he had half a second more for the TP. Lucky there for Happy that the Fiend survives, but even if the Fiend dies, I guess that's worth it for the Expo delay. Expo was delayed, Great All is coming up again. And the TP is gone now, so Happy can't really do that again for quite a while. He has to start creeping now. With the aggressive move across the map, that meant that Happy wasn't creeping, so he's quite far behind in experience, which is starting to become a serious problem. Spiral may want to think about even going aggressive now before level 3 TC.
4 skeletons, how long will they last? Okay, damage shouldn't be enough. Spiral is aggressive here, but there's no real target for him. As he's going once again, Wolves level 2, but he's keeping Happy busy and steals the laboratory. That might be... Oh, how long did these skeletons last, man? They almost do fatal damage to this. Spiral is cutting some corners, not going for reinforced defenses, for example, making his base a little more vulnerable. Pendant of Energy. This game Happy with the perfect items.
Players' forces are under attack.
But
Is Spiral gonna think about a Zeppelin drop here, perhaps? This is kind of an Orc classic.
I think he should have done it on map 2 already. Yeah, there we go. He has Stomp level 2. Chain Lightning only 1, but should still be fine. This is how Infi defeated Happy. Does he expect it from Spiral?
It's only 1 raider though. It's not like 3 raiders. Then it would be super scary.
Look at this.
And Happy saw it with a skeleton, so he's ready. But Spiral sees, okay, Happy is here, but that means Happy isn't creeping. This isn't even bad.
This is
Happy
not creeping and not going for this expansion. Just scouting. Expo is at almost done.
Happy's waiting for Destroyer form to finish, so he finally has Flying Vision. And, now I understand why he went back so quickly. Because he he used the TP earlier.
Yeah.
Spiral forcing the TP previously makes this such a good play. Okay. Didn't even realize that till now.
We do have web now. There's a Fiend Park at the gold mine, but what about the ghouls? Ooh. Okay, that didn't really work, except keeping Happy in his own base once again. Reinforced defense is finished now. Time bought on the cost of a raider. And, ooh, Destroyer finds the Zeppelin now. He's trapped between the Destroyer and the Fiend. What to do now?
Uh-oh. If you're webbed, you can't unload. This could be a disaster. Does the web reach? Does the web reach? Oh, that's so close. That was like 50 range or something.
Okay. Okay, he finds his way out. That was super risky. That's his TP. Nice execution. But Happy is on the other side of the map. Spiral pooled a lot of units here for 50 supplies, not repairing this expansion. Is ready to break upkeep though.
Spiral also, did you see the slow unload there from the Zeppelin? Does he not know that you can spam click for a faster unload?
I don't know.
Maybe he does. Did you see that? Happy stole the replenishment. Why? You don't have full mana, bro.
He has a statue on the ground, but for how much longer is the question. Dragons pulled from the left-hand side, Spiral engaging from the south. Happy at 48, Spiral breaking upkeep now. TC threatening the Stomp again without a Dark Ranger.
Playing without Dark Ranger didn't work out too well in the first game. In this game, it's certainly different than the first, but it's somewhat similar. It's a counter expansion attempt once again, going up against an Orc expansion, which was much sooner.
Bracers.
Spiral coming in, looking for the big Stomp. Should be easy to hit as there's no Dark Ranger. The first one, honestly, not that good. One Raider taken out right away. Happy kiting back further and further. One statue on the ground, lots of Fiends and one Destroyer. But the Lich completely out of mana and no Invul either, by the way. Spiral with big numbers and now a big Stomp as well. Chain Lightning follow-up. Kodo trying to reach forward for the Devourer.
Good damage on the Lich
trouble.
with the Woofies. Forces another coil. That's the second last one. Stomp is never hitting the DK, so he can use the coils. But Spiral is still doing good damage. 57 supply. Raiders about to fall. Kodo has eaten the Fiend. Lich again threatened this Fiend about to fall. No stun anymore. Double invul on this TC. What about the Fast? He has one more Chain Lightning. Coil arrives. Raider killed.
Mana is out here for Spiral. No Stomp anymore. Only one more Chain Lightning. Can he find a big kill with that, perhaps? He must know that there's expansion coming up for Happy as there's no Dark Ranger. He's trying to push forward, but now losing more and more units. DK hits level 4. That's a really nice level for microing, for kiting with a level 2 aura, which I imagine he has. In fact, he does. And more right clicks are coming in, but also lots of reinforcements coming in from the main over and over. TC in trouble. Invul Potion uses the small one first. Keeps him safe for only 7 seconds, but everyone's mana seems to be almost completely dry.
Feels like Spiral's overcommitting. He lost 15 supply in this fight. Happy still at 50. Not forgetting to reproduce. The expansion for him is up. And running. Two base. Spiral is out of lumber. No high levels. No level 4. Was this the fight that broke him? The overextension?
In game 1, I think he attacked with like a 70 supply, right? Or at least 65. This army that he attacked this time with seemed much smaller. Also, no double speed scroll, I believe.
He's
and
very
no mana
low on
on
speed
TC.
scroll. He's very low on speed scrolls the entire series. Now
I think he has to get mana pots in the TC, especially. This is like the X factor.
Yeah. Now we have the triple Kodo again. He was able to eat one Fiend. We have a Dark Ranger. There was the one fight without the Dark Ranger's silence. Now he has to play around it. Without the spell. He has 2 Invul Potions. That's helpful. He gets some speed scrolls as well. But Happy feels more and more confident.
Yeah, this should have been the strongest timing for Spiral when he had the supply lead before Happy's expansion paid off. But he didn't quite have enough in the tank there. Of course, amazing kiting by Happy as always, but I feel like I don't have to mention that anymore.
Invul Potion and Invis Potion and Mana Potion on the TC.
DK 4, Lich 4. If the Dark Ranger hits level 2 only, level 2 is already really good. If he hits level 3, that is a nightmare scenario for the Orc to go up against.
TC finds the undead. Is Happy willing to... is Spiral willing to fight? Slight supply disadvantage. Level 4 on the Farseer. Can that make a difference? Position not that great. The stun though! Follow up with the Chain Lightning, but the DK can throw 2 coins.
Silence coming out after at the perfect time. 4 Kodos marching forward, hungry as ever. One gets off a Devour. TC is way in the back. The rest of the army is lacking behind. Getting focused now quite heavily. TC dropping low. Does have the invul though. Happy perhaps fighting a little bit too soon. Another Stomp comes in. TC out of mana. Dark Ranger in trouble. Long range call to save the 3rd hero. There's a mana potion still available. TC pops it, but only hits the DR.
Yeah,
and he's soon to run out of mana, and the invul soon to run out as well. Happy once again kites back and keeps on surviving.
He never hits the DK with the stomps, and then there's always a coil if you don't disable the DK. Zeppelin. Oh, there's... there was a zapper. Almost blows up the Fiend. Silence on the TC once again. There's still mana. Lich in trouble, but there's no coil for the Dark Ranger. Takes her out.
Only level 1 though. She's gonna be back soon. Spiral's army is still very big. Happy lost a lot of supply right there.
2 Fiends in the stomachs.
That in this TC made all the difference.
Yeah. And the potion.
The first stomp hitting literally everything.
Stomping again, so he can't be nuked, or can he? Moving in again. That was a little mistake. But there's no coil.
Nova.
There's a Nova, yes, but there's no coil. Needs to block with the Kodos. Or needs some healing. He's blocking himself. Oh, no.
TC. Safety PP.
Oh my god, this is a game.
Absolutely. Ladies and gents, we have a match on our hands here. Oh, and Happy now claiming the Orc Fountain. That is rare to see. How is this camp still available?
I don't know.
Could be a big aura.
Sobi nice.
Sobi also very good.
In the hands of Happy, that's more coils. The supply is speaking in favor of Spiral. He has no mana potion this time. Only 1 invul. TC is still hurt. He wants to jack and fight at the fountain. Dark Ranger back. Level 2. See how fast he snaps him now.
Stomps, though. And yeah, we like to say Orc at the fountain, but this is only tier 2 Orc. No Blade Master. Happy is patiently waiting here. He's like, yeah, come at me, bro.
Come at me, exactly. His expansion is running. Is he doing any kind of transition? Not really, but attack upgrades. Spiral, no upgrades. TC Invis again.
Oh,
Healed scroll in.
dispelled it.
Oh, wow. Happy, you god. Knopf, are you watching?
Not because of the Sentry Ward or a Shade or something.
Nope.
No, just because he expected it.
6 stuns. TC at 50%. Farseer close to 5. TC 4.6, but the map is almost empty when it comes to creeps. He needs to get level 5 TC fighting.
And maybe that was the mistake. Maybe Spiral, after realizing it was a 2-base game, should have kept on solo creeping the TC. Because we all know how strong the level 5 TC is. And yes, it's looking good for Happy now. But that's why this game isn't over. If this TC hits 5, all bets are off.
Expo was never repaired. It's at 40%. Spiral needs to hold this. Otherwise, he's a base down against Happy. That doesn't work out. He's investing so much into items now. This TC needs to be the savior. He needs to disable this army. He needs to mass repair. Here comes the epicenter stop, but Happy calculates this well. The second base for the Orcs down. A little too late.
And it's not like you're tier 3. It's not like you have a tiny Great Hall.
Nope. That might be the game-winning move. Now solo creep on the TC, but I think it's too late.
Imagine, or think back to how almost outplayed Happy was in game 1. And how he's completely switching it around. Game 2 and game 3. And yes, maps come into play, but it's more Happy's class. Showing that, okay, I know what you're about to do. And I know exactly what I have to do.
Happy with Info Potion and Heal Scroll now. Lich also with an Info Potion. Hero Kill is super hard. Counter Expanding again is super hard. But Spiral, trying to play it the long run. 1,000 gold remaining. And we see the gold graph now. It is rapidly growing towards Happy's side. Spiral has to hold. He needs to eat like a lot. He needs a Son Goku-esque feast.
I almost forgot about that. Yeah, he loved to eat, didn't he?
He did. He needs...
And I think his wife was always annoyed that he was eating so much or something like that. This is Happy at almost 80 supply on 2 bases. 4/4/2 hero levels. With a DK, by the way, almost level 5. It's gonna be 1 more kill for him. Spiral with a monumental task here. Getting his expansion cancelled again.
Oh, the peons feed him to level 5. Last stand. Invis TC dispelled. Oh boy, that was so glorious. And there's the silence. There's Coil Nova. This TC is so out of this fight. The perfect reaction. He finally gets the DK, but the stun is not long enough. He might get the Dark Ranger, but Happy, of course, is ready. Nova, right clicks, TC, hope, lost.
And without the TC, this tier 2 army shouldn't stand any chance anymore. The Farsi gets level 5, but that is not the same as a TC. What's he going for? Wolfies or Chain Lightning? We'll see. It looks like Chain Lightning, but the Lich is also level 5, and he has the level 3 Nova coming in more and more because the Dark Ranger is providing with more and more skeletons. She's level 3 now as well. Spiral is left with only Headhunters. Good against Destroyers, yes, but not good against much else. It's GG, and Happy does prevail and does win again.
That was close, though. Spiral, with a little bit better decision making, can beat Happy here in the quarterfinal. What a rare statement to make. But again, the Emperor stays on the throne for good reason. He was, a little bit outplayed in game 1. But then map 2 was really, really strong with mistakes by Spiral. And here, it felt like everything was just coming together for Happy. The items, the lacking storms on the DK, and then always a coil, whatever Spiral was targeting, was healed up again. But no shame in losing to the Vice World Champion, to the most successful player in 2019. Getting a map off of him. Spiral showing that he's one of the hottest prospects in 2020.
Yeah. Especially against Undead. He is super scary. Nobody else almost can make Happy look like that on Terranos Stand. That was pretty sick. And yeah, gaining some points here as well, I believe, right?
Absolutely. For the quarterfinal, or for reaching the quarterfinal, you gain 2 points. Everyone who's going to the semifinal has 3 points. That is Happy and Foggy so far. And let's see if we have other results. That's the bracket here at the very top. Happy defeated Spiral, but big hand to the German. It's now Happy versus Hawk in the semis. A rematch of a final. And in the very bottom, Foggy is waiting for his opponent. 1-1 between Knopf and Terra. With that, we take a little break because we needed 3,500 people watching the Rising Star Cup number 5 by AMD, the start of season number 1. We're building up to the playoffs at the last 2 weekends of March, where we will play out $2,500. Happy versus Hawk coming up, and then the second semifinal, Foggy versus Knopf or Terra. A little screen time for the beautiful sponsor, AMD. Thank you all so much for making this happening. The biggest Rising Star Cup ever.